Tonight, with nature's blessings, we always start all our sessions. And welcome to MSME Problem Statement Session. Very grateful to have you here today with us. Myself, Diska Prabhakar, founder and director of the DPurpose Foundation, and we have Lakshmi, COO of the DPurpose Foundation. Thank you so much, Syed, for joining with us today in the MSME Problem Statement Session. First off, we're going to give you a small introduction about what this initiative is all about. Then we look at the guidelines of how this whole process is going to work. After that, we will have a couple of questions for you and then collect the problem statements from your company. So to brief about this whole initiative, this is exclusively by the United Nations specific program called Unleash, where along with our NGO, the DPurpose Foundation, what we're trying to do as part of the second edition of H4P event is that we are trying to get real problems of MSME industries and provide technology solutions to them through engineering students, along with our global mentors and trainers, working together with them to give and build solutions to offer real-time impact, real-time problem solving for the MSME industry. This is what this whole initiative is all about. It is a unique step that we have taken to get real problems of MSMEs and provide them with immediate solutions by developing this sort of an ecosystem. So since it's a first of a kind event, we have taken 100 companies only during this whole edition as a start to build a proof of concept and then see how this goes forward in real-time solutions for the MSMEs. And to go into the guidelines, the first thing, as I said, is it's a very unique initiative. We are trying to bridge and build an ecosystem. So when we go forward here, there is no 100% guarantee that we will get the absolute exact solution that you require, but maximum we'll try to bring as close as possible to the reality. So that is the first one. Second is there is no cost, no payment or no charge, anything involved whatsoever. This is purely that we want to support the MSME industry because they are the backbone of whole of India and whole of India's manufacturing. So we just want to provide technology and innovative solutions to the MSME industry. So there is no cost whatsoever. Any sort of patent or IP that comes out of this mostly should belong to the MSME only, but we would like to deal with it on a case-to-case basis, but so that everybody is getting a good amount of benefit for all their hard work and efforts. And this is a joint initiative. The whole process starts from June 1st when we get the problem statement from you and we will post it on our website. Then the students will apply and select. After they apply, we are going to filter out and form the groups along with our trainers and mentors. So the 100 teams will be selected and then we take the training programs and the development of the technology, everything for which the grants and the funds will be provided to the students along with our mentors and trainers. After which you will get the functional prototype or the solution for your particular problem. So this is how it will work from the month of June, after which we will keep you updated throughout the whole of the progress. So first and foremost, we like to request you to start off about your company, name of your company, how many years you're doing this, what are the products or the services that you provide in your company, and what is your designation and what is the role that you control in the company to start off. So over to you.
Yeah. All right, that's a great introduction. Well then, to put it in nutshell, we are a waste management company basically. We have kickstarted all the process in the year of 2021, where majority of the company who are prevailing in the market were much more concentrating on only procuring the waste and then just sending them to the end users, okay, or just driving the resources out of it and then just discarding the rest of the things. What we have decided is we need to concentrate on a matter where not only procuring the waste wouldn't be our main goals, but also compensating that waste along with the carbon credits. Okay, that's the standards that majority of the European countries are following, and now it's started coming up to our nations too. So we were trying to educate the people where your duty is not just to discard the waste on the safety manner, but also to ensure that the carbon footprint that's get reduced wherever your manufacturing things get applied. So in the initial stage, we have been very much facing a tough phase. We need to educate these people because they are completely unaware of it, and there are ground level people who are not even known what is this carbon credit is all about. Okay, how does that is going to get equally given to us by procuring or selling of these waste materials. Okay, so these are the standards that we want to get implemented, and we have felt like there should be always a centralized dashboard where which can be tracked down by the manufacturer or seller and government authorities once the waste just which is getting generated, okay, once it's getting recycled, what will happen to the next steps, and what is the amount of the waste getting recycled, what is the equal amount of carbon credits that the entity would be able to receive it from your firm like us. So these are the points that we want to get it integrated, and we were been looking for one such kind of technology support where we need to integrate the entire ecosystem. That's what we mean to say. People are in the loop, have to get attached to a kind of technological based dashboard where when the manufacturer manufactures, the rest of the scrap material which is getting generated has to be posted to the recycler. When the recycler recycle it and then distribute that as additive materials to the various industries, what is the amount of carbon footprint that it is getting reduced? Based on that, we are liable to issue a carbon credits, a kind of certificate. Okay, let's say we have procured some amount of 1 ton of steels. By recycling this 1 tons of scrap steels, what is the amount of carbon footprint that the industry have received? Okay, and along with the carbon credit certificate. So these are the things that we were been majorly concentrating on, and we felt like the policy, as you've been very much aware of, the policy of ELV, end of life vehicle, have come into the force, and that is a massive thing that we want to exclusively concentrate on, and then educate the people about recycling of automobiles, which comes to the end of the life. So on that tagline also we were been finding out, because everything getting shattered, all the people who are into the recycler does his work separately, and the automobile manufacturer does their work separately. But the main pain point is even both of them were not able to aware about this policy. So we are playing a role, we educate them, make them understand that once the vehicle reach to its end of the life, it has to be exclusively get recycled only with the recyclers who are authorized to do that, and it's not only going to get stopped with that. Once they have done the recycling process, they are liable to get the distraction certificate along with the carbon credit certificate. This is the compliance that the majority of the automobile have to fulfill, but they are very much not aware about it. So what we are trying to bridge is we want to have a dedicated dashboard where the automobile industry onboarded, the recycler gets onboarded, and we as the compliance educator will also be a part of it. So we will take up the ups and downs. I'm to say all the inputs of these players, we'll integrate it into this dashboard, right? Once we integrate it into this dashboard, that every people are very much aware of it, what's going on, where is the starting and where is the end point, right? So we want to majorly concentrate on it, and being a Startup India recognized organization, and we falls under the MSME micro category, right? So we want to majorly focus on this, so that we are not much dependent on the importing the scrap materials from the rest of the countries. So that's what we have been majorly doing it. Abundant of very much abundant of scrap materials are available within the country, but we are lacking channelizing them. So that's the major goal that the industry want to concentrate on it, and then we want to channelize everything so that the people from the A to Z are being very much aware of it. So this is the major goal that we have been looking to achieve.
Thank you so much, Syed. I think on carbon credits, it's very, very growing and much needed feat that you have taken to educate people. Most of the problem lies in the awareness part, and once they know that they have to, on the carbon credits and the compliance and the emission reduction that can happen, it's going to be a huge impactful feat for sure. So from what we understood, your focus areas is mainly on the automotive recycling also is one where end-of-life vehicles are are going to come into picture. So you're trying to center that as well. So primarily on waste management, can you elaborate on what all types of waste that you are working to handle, and then you are diverting it to recyclers? What types of waste do you primarily handle?
All right, NST are majorly focusing on 4 categories of wastes, namely e-waste, automobile recycling, industry waste management activities, and the compliance part. We help the many organizations in order to understand what the impact that their waste material is getting, created in the society, right? We approach them, under their CSR plan. We make a awareness to the various, publics, institutions, and open up ground where we educate the people to understand what is this waste management is really giving an impact. So we take the CSR activities of many of the major industries. So the major focus area are e-waste, automobile recycling, industrial waste management activities, and CSR program initiatives. So these are the 4 categories that we are majorly concentrating on.
Awesome. Okay, so we spoke about e-waste and automotive waste. So here you are procuring the e-waste and then giving it to recyclers, or do you also handle the recycling part in your facilities to a certain extent?
All right. At present, automobile recycling alone, we will be able to handle it, because as I was just saying you initially, we were exclusively open up for that reason, because that's a major thing that the government of India have implemented, but majority of the automobile manufacturers are much not aware about it. So we have kickstarted a automobile recycling center where we procure this end of the life vehicle and we scrap them down, right? And equal amount of scrap, the weight of the vehicle what we have scrapped up, that equal amount of carbon credits is being issued to the manufacturers or the individuals who are scrapping down the past. With respect to e-waste, we are signed a number of MOU with the recycler of e-waste, where we procure this material, we channelize to them, and they recycle that, and once they recycle it, they issue a certificate of distractions, and which is in turn procured from us and then handed over to the respective industries. Yes.
Okay, that is absolutely clear. Okay, so here when we talk about technology support and with this whole initiative, right, what we're trying to mainly do is innovation in technology, especially in the manufacturing. Primarily, since automotive recycling is your facility, is your core. When you talk about automotive recycling, now you're already recycling it and providing carbon credits as per whatever is being processed. Providing carbon credits in the automotive recycling. So what we have got from another automotive supplier as a problem statement, for an example, what we got is they had lot of rejects which are painted automotive parts, right? So in the production itself, there were issues with the shape of the product or something like that, and it was a painted part. So if they removed the paint, they had the plastic which could be recycled again in their production itself. But because of the paint factor, they are not able to recycle, and again it has to go for dumping or some low value application. So they asked us to find out ways to remove that paint in a natural or less chemical free way, in a less chemical oriented way. So this is one problem statement we got from an automotive component manufacturer. Like that, when you talk about complete scrapping of an automobile, there are a lot of the parts which may not be so useful, but in the sorting, in the segregation itself, is there any technology which could help you to ease the whole process, to reduce your manpower or your energy consumption, so that you can save up your costs? Or if you can find value, maybe a small setup that you can add to just directly convert it from your facility itself, and then you can sell it for more value, more revenue for your company. If you can think of something like this which would bring you revenue or cut down your costs, that will be great.
As I was just saying, we have kickstarted our automobile recycling unit exclusive for these manufacturers who are finding very hard to scrap down their R&D cars and prototype vehicles, right? Even we have started accepting the rejected materials also. Let's say because they want to ensure the brand value doesn't go down in the market. So at the same time, if they just give it up to the any waste picker or various scrap recyclers or whatever, it might get infused in the market. So what we have been trying to educate them is we have a dedicated hardware, or I'm to say a machinery, which we have procured from AVL India. AVL India are pioneer in this field, supplying of a various kind of machinery, which is greatly useful for any automobile recycler to recycle the whole shell of the vehicle. The whole entire vehicle can be recycled. So we have one such machinery where, like, the parts which whatever being produced by the respective manufacturer or automobile industry, when they find a defect in it, they can completely hand it over to us, and we deface that. We completely deface that. We erase the brand value of it, and then in case if they need it, like, so we need to reuse that the same material for other application. Yes, we are up for that. We have a kind of way or a protocol where, like, we could be able to completely refurbish it and then hand over the same materials to them, as they like it. Then that can be again useful for them to infuse in their market with their own brand value. So these are the activities also we have been doing it. So completely, we are not only just concentrating on just procuring the vehicle and recycling it, we are also concentrating on other major part of the vehicles also. And we are an organization where, like, we ensure that customized solution are given to the respective manufacturers. Only then we could be able to eradicate the problem whatever they have been facing. We cannot have a kind of standard condition where, like, only we will be just procuring the vehicle, we are not able to help out on all these things. Usually the waste management company shouldn't be in that way. We want to ensure that adapting all this technology will keep us moving forward to ensure that the carbon footprint are getting reduced.
Great. So we can see that you are offering a lot of customized services for a greater impact. That is really incredible. When you spoke about the stripping down of the complete machine, right? When you go through that whole process and you have procured a lot of machines to do this in a complete zero waste sort of a setup as well. So when you talk about the whole recycling, what kind of sections are more straining on the whole process, or you don't get maximum output, or is there any place where there is room for improvement in this whole process that you're doing from stripping down the automotive? Is there any other places where we can add some technology to make this little easier for you in this whole process?
Basically, the 90% of the entire work are being basically based on the electricity consumptions. We feel like, the majority of the revenue, whatever we are getting generated, it goes on the electricity consumptions. Okay. So we want to ensure that, if the government, provide a subsidiary for an exclusive industry like us, that's far better, because majority of the machine which are getting operated are a heavy machinery, right? And the tariff which is been, given to us was something which we couldn't be able to handle it at all. That's a major part. Majority of the machinery consumes a huge amount of electricity, and for which we need to pay to the respective government, and for which we are not able to get any kind of subsidy at all, right? Though we falls under the MSME, because government are lean enough to give the subsidy to the MSME who are into the manufacturing process.
You are talking about subsidies for the manufacturing, yes.
We are not being encouraged for these subsidiaries, so that's a major thing that we want to make a important message. So we must be encouraged for these subsidiaries. So giving up the subsidy for the electricity will do a massive growth. That's a major thing that we have been looking forward. Government subsidy are major thing that we want to take it as a message to the respective teams.
As is concerned, as I mentioned, is there anything which can make your process easier from the whole stripping down the vehicle to segregating the parts? If there is particular sensors which can maybe reduce your burden, or a conveyor system where we can have some inbuilt AI scanning or something of that sort, where you can have less of manpower. So first thing I understood is one of your major problem statement is high energy consumption of all the machines you're using. So you're looking for subsidies on that front. Maybe we can also see some technologies to reduce that burden of energy. That could be one statement. So other statement on this segregation part, or to actually completely strip down all the vehicles to remove the different parts in the scanner or anything like that which can make your process easier.
Additionally, we are focusing on to implementing the QR code option where when we stick on this QR code, then probably the system should be able to track down where it is, what is the process has been completed, and what so far that the scrap material which is been withdrawn from the entire shell. So we want to ensure that this kind of QR code facilities are being provided so that this can able to give us a one single stop information what is the status of the entire vehicle. So we are looking forward such kind of technology where if the people are up and say okay, so we have a dedicated software where once you stick on a particular QR code when the vehicle is being procured, from that moment onwards till the rest of the scrapping down process, you will be able to have your one hand information which gives you an entire detail about the vehicle, where in which station the vehicle is, what are the parts, what are the parts that can be derived from the vehicle, or how the recycling can be done. All these things and all will be very much easy. So we are looking probably majorly on the parts of having one such kind of technology, so that this will also ease our process.
Before the shipping itself.
Before shipping itself, yeah.
So it will track where each part is going or what is happening during the recycling process. Is it like that?
Exactly. I'll explain you. See, once we procure the vehicle, let the vehicle have a kind of unique identity. We mean to say as a kind of a QR code or barcode or whatever it is. Okay. So we might be assuming, okay, fine, with this particular model of the vehicle, we could be able to derive a certain parts which can be refurbished and used in the market again. Okay, the major reason of recycling is to ensure that we keep on using the same resource again and again. Okay, but what will happen? Sometimes the majority of the parts that we have been assuming in the vehicle would not be there in the vehicle, because we are not completely scanning down the vehicle. Only when we break down or dismantle the vehicle, we will be able to understand what are the parts that are there. Okay, so we need a kind of technology which could be able to educate us. Once we give a QR code, this should give that should give a information that what are the parts that are there in the vehicle,
right?
Okay, and what are the parts that can be used in the market again.
Okay, for example, it's like a 3D scan of the whole vehicle. If you can have the code and scan it, it will give you the list of parts and what can be done with these parts, something like that.
Exactly, that's what I mean to say. Yeah.
Beautiful. That is a perfect, very useful.
We feel like that's kind of a very tough job, but if you could be able to assist us with the technology part on this subject line, it's going to really a trendsetter. That's
yes.
What I would say.
Beautiful. Okay. I think we've got two very important problem statements. One is to reduce your energy consumption of the machines, and the other is to have a complete utilization case of all the different components before the vehicle is being stripped down, to have a unique identification for the vehicle and then track it till the end of life. So we'll take these two problem statements from your side to finally finish off our session. Again, as you mentioned, on the sustainability front, you're already working with carbon credits. You're already doing a lot on the recycling front. If you can tell us one initiative that you are trying to do next for the sustainability aspect, or you plan to do in the near future, with that we can close our session.
Right. The major thing is now we have started concentrating with the assistance of these manufacturers. Okay. Now we want to help down this general public to understand what are the major impact that they could be able to create it by recycling their end of vehicle, because public were not even aware of it, what is about this recycling it. They are very much interested in selling of the cars in the secondary market, which is absolutely not acceptable as per the policy which has been issued. But still the same thing is going on. But the cars already reached its life, right? So we want to educate this general public, such as the manufacturer are ready to give the subsidiaries, provided if the general public are ready to render the old vehicles to them.
That's great. The awareness part is very important. Yes.
Very important. So we want to create the awareness part on this particular subject line. Once we recycle it, you are not only going to create a massive impact on carbon footprint, but also you are getting some subsidiaries, and the benefit is the vehicle is getting recycled in a dedicated and licensed center. So we want to
so
create
the authenticity is there and the credibility is there. Yes, I think that's a great mission again, as you have taken it forward into the whole of automotive recycling as per all of the compliance, and even beyond compliance you're trying to go educate them as well. So thank you so much. It was grateful, it was very grateful that you had joined us today for this session and to be part of the first such initiative. Very happy to have you with us, and thank you so much for sharing. We'll keep you updated on the progress. Thank you so much, Syed, for your valuable time. Have a great day.
Same here, Mehdi and Mr. Lashmi. Thank you so much for your video.
Right.